Welcome back, viewers. We really appreciate you being here. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell so you don't miss anything exciting. Okay, this video is hopefully to help with aligning your parking and any questions with your park linkage for the 4R55Es, 5R55Es, and even the old A4LDs. C3s are the same way as well. So first of all, let's look here on the A4LDs and 4R55Es, these tail housings. These are the two-wheel drive tail housing choices you have. You have casting number 92 GT with no speedo. That means that the speedo hole is blocked off. You got no speedo. It is cast P92 GT, and this is cast P92 GT, but it has a speedo hole. So those are your two choices there. You also have the 85 GTs, they're cast 85 GT with the speedo hole. And as you can see, they are the same where they bolt up. These are interchangeable except for the fact if you need your speedo hole blocked off, or if you need an open speedo hole, you know, that's the differences. I mean, the distance between your bolt holes and everything is the same. This right here where your park goes is the same. This is a receiver. This is your parking pawl, park pawl pin, park bullet, and park bullet shaft goes here to your rooster comb. So these are and there's a spring that goes here that's missing. I'll show you on the 4R70W, which is the same as AOD's. It's this return spring to hold it up against the park bullet, but it's not shaped the same as this. It's like a wraparound spring. It wraps around this and has a tang. I wish I had one I could show you, but it does the same thing. Once you install the pin in the parking pawl, that spring will keep your parking pawl tension up against the park bullet, so that it doesn't fall into the park ring gear. Which this is an A4LD, and you can see the linkage and the park bullet, the parking pawl is the same. This 4R55E, you can see from where the big wire connector goes, that's the 4R55E. It's the same bullet, same setup. And the trick with this is, unlike the AODs and 4R70Ws, where you can put all this stuff together, you can take your park bullet and put it down in here, line it up and put it down in here. See, now you've got a working part. With this stuff here, you have to put it together with your return spring, and then you've got to pick all this up and bring it over and line it up here while holding this. Now, you see that's sticking out because what I do is I grab the rooster comb and I pull that all the way forward. And I want that sticking out like that when I pick everything up. And just like on the AODs and the 4R70Ws, you've got to get it to where your park bullet gets in between there and lines up and goes right in there as you're putting the tail housing on the case. Another thing that's worth mentioning is the four-wheel drives and the four-wheel drive housing. If you orient it the same way, you'll see that it's the same as well. It's the same here. The only thing that's different is the really late model, which is not the 4R55E and 5R55E. Let's get over here. The 5R55Ns, the 5R55Ss, 5R55Ws are different unit. They look a lot of the same, but their tail housings and extension housings are different. But they're so different that you're not going to get them mixed up with these units, because the bolt pattern is quite a bit different. So you're not going to get that mixed up, and you're not going to have an interchange problem with that because it's dummy proof. Alright, another thing here you got to note is that your parking pawl can be down here, right up against that. And it can get that way when you're wiggling around trying to get your tail housing on. If this occurs, if this gets down here like that, and you get it bolted up, then that's going to be right up against the ring gear, the park ring gear, and it's going to be stuck in park all the time. So the same thing with the A4LDs. When you go to do this, you want to push your linkage forward, and when you push your linkage forward, that pushes the park bullet out where you can get it lined up better. It makes it easier on you. Well, I hope that some information here in this video helps you, and that the piece of information you were needing was in here somewhere. If you need any more help with any transmission stuff, then let me know in the comments. If you have anything to add to this, put it in the comments. Any information you think that might help somebody, please put it in the comments. Until the next video, get off the couch and get dirty. I almost forgot to mention, I do have an ATSG manual in my other building. I'm going to be bringing all those homes. I got quite a collection of them, and I will put a link to the ATSG manual that I use for learning all this stuff and relearning and trying to remember all this stuff. I'll put that in the description. Okay guys, before you go, just one word of caution. Anything you want to do that you see in my videos or hear in my videos, do at your own risk. You could make things worse, or you could end up burnt, bruised, or bleeding. After doing thousands, possibly tens of thousands of cars and passing over 50 certification tests, I still screw things up, and I still get burnt, bruised, or bleeding. Heck, you can even wake up in the hospital one day, or not wake up at all. So be careful, and remember, the most careful and painless way to fix your car is to pay somebody else to do it.